How are you? It's Denise Danielle coming at you again with another episode on transformation. So here's the thought. Do not make potato chip decisions with $1 million mindset. So here's an example. I was hanging out with this particular person who's an entrepreneur, and I had put together a couple of slides, because that's the thing to do when you want to guide the conversation, but you don't hide behind slides. So you want to build a relationship, so don't create a big deck, just something to guide the conversation because you don't want to hide with slides. So I'll leave that alone, never mind. Anyway, so we're talking through it, and like 15 minutes into the discussion, he's like, okay, Denise, let's do it. And I thought wow, he just knew what he wanted. He knew what he was listening for, first of all. He did his due diligence. He had the comfort and the security, so a psychological comfort and security to know, I can make this decision and I don't need to go and ask a bunch of people and do all this investigation. Now, it does not take the place of doing due diligence. You got to do due diligence. So this doesn't mean you don't do due diligence. It means that you don't take small decisions and spend hours trying to figure out, do I want to do it, because you're afraid to make a decision. If you're in a supermarket, standing in an aisle, that's why I call it a potato chip decision. Because if I'm standing in a potato chip aisle, if I take more than a minute to decide what chips do I want sour cream, do I want barbecue, I'm making it a lot bigger than it is. But if I'm making $1 million decision, the reverse of that, don't make them so fast like I'm choosing a bag of potato chips. So I have to know what kind of decision I'm making and be wise in how much time I'm taking to make that decision. Because there are some people that will make potato chip decisions with $1 million mindset and end up spending an enormous amount of money to make one small decision because you're afraid of making a mistake. And as leaders, make sure your team isn't running the excuse of, we got to get collaboration, or we got to get all this buy-in, or we got to get this people to look at it, and you end up spending $1 million to just make a decision. All the years I've been in different types of businesses, nonprofit, churches, the gamut, I have yet to have anybody come to me and say, this business failed because they chose the wrong font, or they chose the wrong color in their communications poster or something.